Why Spyro the Dragon matters. Cat hockey. At the time of this recording, it is Spyro's 25th anniversary. 25 years, and with the reignited trilogy selling 10 million copies, it's about time Spyro came back with a brand new adventure. So let's go over why he should and why Spyro matters. Spyro the Dragon was created by the team over at WhyVideoGames. These days they are more known for the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game and the Ratchet & Clank series like Rift Apart. Although Spyro was a success, it wasn't Insomniac's first title. They released Disruptor in 1996, but was ultimately a commercial failure. Despite this, Universal saw the potential in the studio, and so they would work on their next endeavour. Insomniac artist Craig Stitt suggested a game around a dragon as he was a fan of the creatures. They had planned for the game to be dark and gritty, taking inspiration from the film Dragon Heart, but was soon scrapped to appeal to a much wider market, specifically children. The dragon was going to be called Pete, according to programmer Peter Hastings, but fear of copyright with Disney Pete's Dragon, it was scrapped. Pyro was considered but was too mature, so they settled on Spyro. His initial colour was going to be green, but with fear of clashing with grass, they went with purple instead. Did you know that Insomniac and Naughty Dog, creator of Crash Bandicoot, had a close relationship back in the day? Their offices weren't far apart, and they would even share early builds of each other. You can even find a demo of Spyro the Dragon in Crash Bandicoot Warped by entering a code at the title screen and vice versa. What we got is a small young purple dragon with a bit of an attitude, ready to take on the world and then some. After Spyro's success, 2 more games were made from Insomniac, before they moved on and gave the rights to the franchise. Since then, Spyro has actually had a similar fate to Crash Bandicoot. Mediocre games, or games that just wasn't up to par the original, some just straight up bad, handhelds, a reboot series called The Legend of Spyro, and a figure game that most people want to forget, until they reignited him with a remake of the original trilogy, back in 2018. It's been 5 years since. Unlike Spyro's counterpart Crash, where he's received 2 remakes, a brand new game and a spin-off arena-style game, Spyro has unfortunately seen nothing. And so it is time for us to raise our voices. Why should Spyro the Dragon return? I know what Spyro means to me, but I want to know what he means to you. Thanks to the folks over at the Spyro the Dragon Facebook group, they were kind enough to share their thoughts and memories on Spyro. There was all sorts of interesting and cool stories, but what I think most people have are such fond first playing experiences from childhood. Spyro was a lot of people's first experience into gaming, and what a game to start with. Whether you played with your family or watched your siblings play, from your parents passing on the game to you, to the colourful worlds and characters that drew us in, to inspiring us to get into game design, to helping us learn English. Oh yeah, you guys have told me some great stories. Spyro is such a good childhood game to grow up with. It's no wonder we are still so fond of him even now. And it's great that we and new generations get to experience him again thanks to the remake. Some of us are even creating more memories with our own children, so that they can experience what we loved back then. It's clear to me there's still a place for Spyro. There's still a place for more games. Which brings me to how I feel about Spyro the Dragon. Like a lot of you, I have fun childhood memories, similar to Crash actually. But my first game wasn't Spyro 1, it was Spyro 2, Gateway to Glimmer, or Ripto's Rage in America. I remember trying a demo allowing me to play the first level Glimmer and Idle Springs. Immediately, I was blown away by, well, everything. The game was so vibrant, colourful, the designs looked so much fun. And even at that age, I thought dragons were the coolest thing, so getting to play as one was like a dream. I mean, the first boss of the first game is just a sheep on stilts dressed up like some wizard. How great is that? Also, the sheep did nothing wrong. I see how Spyro treats those sheep. The music was catchy, characters were talking. You had these beautiful looking gems to collect, enemies to flame and charge. This world was full of life and charm. Gliding long distances to reach areas felt satisfying. Characters and enemies' animations were oozing with personality. I promise you this is a kid's game. I was hooked. I couldn't stop replaying Glimmer. It was easy to pick up and play, and you felt like a dragon torching and charging foes with your horns. I couldn't help but think about Crash and how even then, what it would be like if they crossed over. Oops, classic Spyro has always been a feel-good type of game to me. You can have fun at any age. A nice comfort game to play. Makes me feel like a kid, even when I'm not. Being able to fully fly speedways was so cool. I wasn't good at them, but still, just the freedom to explore these worlds. I even remember discovering the first speedway in a demo, only for it to not let me in. No, I want to do it now. I was lucky enough to grow up with the free classic Spyro games, with the third being my favorite. He means so much to me, and I continue to go back to those games many years later. I believe that as we get older, we crave nostalgia. We crave the more fun times of our childhood. And for some of us, that's Spyro. We want to relive our memories, the joy we felt, the joy we can still feel now. We all owe a lot to Spyro for our experiences, and just like Crash, he deserves to make a return. I am just one random guy on the internet, but together we make a community that loves this purple dragon. Happy 25th anniversary, Spyro. I can only hope that you'll come back soon. Until then, guess I'm playing Spyro the Dragon for the 50th time.